We're with Greg DeVito, Eastern head men's soccer coach. Greg, preseason poll came out. You guys are the #1 team, alone at the top. Any surprise there?
Yeah, I think there's some surprise. I think Keene returns a lot of players, and they won it last year. I think everyone in our conference really. Rhode Island College returns a lot of players, and they beat us last year on our field. I think there's a lot of good teams in our conference that could have been #1.
Well, then, and from that standpoint, it might be a little bit of a surprise. Is it the fact that maybe that you return virtually everybody?
Yeah.
Could that have played into it?
I think a lot of the teams return a lot of players, and we didn't win it last year, so I think anybody really could be the favorite out of 3 or 4 teams. I think the conference is pretty balanced that way.
Well, the voting came down that way. It was very, very tight. Would you prefer not to be #1, or does that really not enter into your preparation?
I think it's it's an honor and it's nice to be recognized, but I don't really think that it matters that we're #1 or #2 or #3. Still got to play the games.
I would think come November, nobody's really thinking about polls at that point, right?
Right now, nobody's really thinking about the polls. Still got to play the games.
Well, last year you had somewhat of a young team. This year you got a pretty good senior nucleus. Talk about a couple of those seniors, especially Carl Apple. I mean, this is it for those guys.
Yeah, Carl's a great leader. He works harder than anyone we've ever had in the program. He really keeps the guys on task. He's an exceptional goalkeeper. He's done really well. He's a great student. I think we have some good leadership with the seniors, also with our junior class. We have a lot of starters that are juniors that have been starting for 3 years. So we feel like we are a little more experienced and hopefully better suited to make a little bit of a run in the postseason this year than we did last year.
Last question, Greg. Is there anybody on the roster on the schedule that you really aim for in terms of conference?
I think we really need to treat all the games equally and not focus more on one school than another, because that's when you start to set yourself up for bad things happening. So I'd like to say that we're equally as focused on all 7 conference opponents as the next one.
Greg, thanks. Good luck this year.
All right.